Hello, my name is Paul and I'm the CMS guy. I'm a dad and a qualified social worker who's had 10 years boots on the ground experience working directly with the Children Act 1989 and Children in Care system. I care passionately about children who come from broken homes, and I've worked in a number of places in the UK providing safe, secure environments for children. Yet, I've had my own battles seeing my own child, and I've been threatened and made to feel like a criminal by the family court, CSA and CMS. So what needs to change? Without further ado, let's dive in. So here's what's going on. Just like a bunch of other people out there, we'll call her Susan. Hey, Susan happens to be owed a massive £18,000. Yeah, you heard that correctly. Enough to cover 2 whole years of university fees. But guess what? Her genius son has made the smart choice to skip university. Why? Well, he's scared of getting into debt. Smart move, right? Now, let me tell you something about Ian Duncan Smith's shared in Parliament back in July 2012. He spilled the tea in this report called Supporting Separated Families, Securing Children's Futures, about a little thing called the Child Support Agency, or CSA cases. Want to guess how much people had to pay on average per week? Drum roll, please. Thank you. £33.40. Can you believe it? And wait for it. Because an average CSA case lasts for a whopping 9 years, this all came out during the government's scandal over their lies about the cost of a typical CSA case. What a mess. Okay, let's do some quick math here. If you add up all those weekly payments over a lifetime of a CSA case, it all adds up to a whopping mind-blowing £15,631. That's definitely not chump change, my friend. But here's where things get really interesting. The British religious right were busy doing their so-called research to prove that kids raised by single mothers have a tougher time compared to those raised by married parents. But get this, the Child Poverty Act has been scrapped, and somehow single motherhood has become the official measurement of child poverty. Wait, what? Now let's talk about Christian Guy. No thanks. He's a Care Leadership Program graduate and former director of the Centre for Social Justice. Thank you. And he's even part of the Social Mobility Commission. He's been busy making policies. Meanwhile, university tuition fees are a whopping £9,000 per year. And guess what? That's £15,631 I mentioned earlier, paid over the years of an average CSA case is more than half of those tuition fees for the 3-year degree. So here's the kicker. Susan's son has finally decided to steer clear of university because he's scared of drowning in debt. Can you blame him? I definitely can't. But here's where things get wild. The government has purposely denied hundreds of thousands of children from single mothers that average sum of £15,631. Why? Well, you might ask. Well, I think they're trying to limit the chances, and have done for years now, in a crazy notion that single mothers cause poverty. Can you believe that? In one of their policy reports, the Centre for Social Justice, led by Samantha Cullen, admitted that after a divorce, women with kids see their income drop by a shocking 12%. Well, that's surprising when you consider how many women come out of work to have children. Anyway, while fathers separate, actually see their income increase by 31%. Let me tell you, I didn't see my salary go up. Barely could make ends meet. Now let's fast forward to 2015. Christian Guy's paper, Reforming the Child Poverty Act, was urging the government to get rid of it. Want to know why? To avoid being taken to court if they couldn't meet the target for eliminating child poverty by 2020. Sneaky move, right? And just when you thought things couldn't get much messier, thanks. In June 2015, George Osborne announces that any family having a third child after April 2017 wouldn't get child tax credits. That's a massive £2,780 gone. per child. What a blow. And here's where it gets really interesting. In October 2015, during the Conservative Party conference, Ian Duncan Smith had the audacity to lecture couples and single mothers about the cost of raising kids on taxpayers' money. Yeah, this. He set up a system where separating fathers don't have to contribute a penny towards their children's expenses. Talk about hypocrisy. By limiting housing choices for separated mothers, the government is basically pushing them towards rented housing, which in turn hurts their children's future prospects and social mobility. It's all part of their crazy plan to prove that kids of separated and divorced parents struggle more as adults. Shocking, isn't it? Meanwhile, the Child Support Enforcement Bill is going forward in 2022. Let's listen.
Ready, second time. Jim Sunderland.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for calling me. We've heard much about the bill already. I don't want to go into the detail of the bill, but what I do want to do is to commend my honourable friend from Stroud. I mean, she's a really outstanding MP, a fantastic champion for her constituency, and what she's done in this place in our short time since 2019 for families and family law is really amazing. So a massive well done and thank you. It's a no-brainer, this bill. It's a very easy one to support. I know the government's supporting it, so I won't talk.
Good thing it's not a brainer.
Which support it this morning, and I'm absolutely delighted too. The bit that really interests me about this bill is where DWP agrees that a person has failed to pay an amount of child support maintenance, and a deduction from earnings has not been possible or is not appropriate. Therefore, what this bill does, it enables DWP to make a liability order in respect of that amount against the person. So there's an element here of coercion that we haven't seen
Coercion.
absolutely justified. The bit that really matters is under direct pay. So where a parent does not pay their liability in full and on time, the person with care, so-called, should inform the Child Maintenance Service or take swift action to move the case
Because they're the victim.
payment. So without a court order, the Child Maintenance Service may collect arrears, as we know, through a deduction from earnings order, a deduction from earnings request, or a deduction order. But the bit that I really like is with a court-obtained liability order, the Child Maintenance Service may instruct bailiffs to take control of goods and apply to the court for an order of sale of an asset once registered with.
Stick it to the dads.
Well, it's really important because we've seen over the years so many cases about some parents, errant parents, non-resident parents, who have an obligation to provide for their children, but that doesn't.
It's their fault.
It's the constituents in Bracknell come and see me all the time for help in chasing these absent, errant or non-resident parents, and I feel their angst. So I can now at least reassure them that the law is being tightened, that non-resident parents can now be held to account.
The government is the hero of the single parent.
Whereby they will be forced to make good. So this is absolutely a step in the right direction. I commend my honourable friend for all the work that she's doing, and I fully support the bill. Thank you very much.
Laura Farris.
There seems to be a distorted narrative going around that puts the blame solely on fathers who have left their families. The government, in an attempt to play the hero, has bought into the narrative as well. They changed the definition of poverty in England, making it about single parenthood rather than income. And to make matters worse, they cut off the financial support that could help single mothers in need. But here's the real deal, my friend. The government has bamboozled the whole nation into thinking that these evil fathers are the cause of all the problems faced by children. They want us to believe that the limited educational attainment and bleak future prospects are solely because of these absent fathers who supposedly failed in their support of their families. It's really clever, I've got to say. But instead of buying into the rigged system, we should advocate for parenthood in general. Let's put an end to the false narrative that always portrays mothers as the victims and fathers as the villains who bring about poverty. The government needs to step up and provide comprehensive care and support for both parents. It's time they prioritise the well-being of families and stop taking advantage of their already challenging situations, both financially and emotionally. Well, what do you think? Are the government right to continue the way things are? Let me know in your comments below. What do you think needs to change for single mothers, their children, and also fathers who are non-residents? Share your comments below. Can you also see the tropes that are prevailing in the CMS law? Make a comment and keep it civil. I hope you found value in this video. If you did, please hit the bell, smash the like button as it pushes these videos out, all those who need to see it. Oh yeah, subscribe.